What's up, Couch fam? Not feeling so good today, but I couldn't leave you hanging. There's no way I'm missing out on making this video. These are my waiver wire pickups for week 9 of fantasy football. Keep in mind, there are 4 teams on bye this week: the Lions, Seahawks, Buccaneers, and the Washington football team. For quarterbacks, man, this is just sudden crazy news that Henry Ruggs likely not going to be, well, definitely not going to be playing this week. Matter of fact, he could be facing 2 to 20 years in prison for that car crash. Just crazy stuff here. So I don't know if you really want to keep Derek Carr at number 1. I think I'm going to, just because it's probably a better game script than the Colts game. So we'll keep him here tentatively. Derek Carr, number 1. Quarterback to add or stream this week. Going up against the Giants this week. Chiefs next week. And then the Bengals. So these next 2 weeks should be really good for Derek Carr, even though he's going to be without Henry Ruggs. At number 2, we got Carson Wentz going against the Jets. Tua going against the Texans. Daniel Jones in that same game against Carr, going against the Raiders. Taysom Hill is in concussion protocol, but he's trending towards the right direction, so really good chance he does suit up and play. Jameis Winston out for the season, so Taysom Hill would be the starting quarterback, and Trevor Siemian would back him up. So number 5, I got Taysom Hill. Number 6, I got Teddy Bridgewater. 7, Ryan Tannehill. Not the best matchup this week, but with Derrick Henry out for several weeks, they're going to be throwing the ball a lot more. At number 8, Justin Fields. Terrible matchup. We're in super deep league territory here. In case Taysom Hill can't go, Trevor Siemian. And we got Baker Mayfield. And in super flex leagues, Sam Darnold did suffer a concussion. Do not know if he's going to play. So PJ Walker would be the starting QB for Carolina. And a similar situation with Kyler Murray. He could miss 1 week. He could miss up to 3 weeks. We don't know. Guess there's a shot he misses no time at all. But if he doesn't play, Colt McCoy would be the starting quarterback for the Cardinals. All right, moving on to running backs. Adrian Peterson is the number 1 back to add. He's going to be better in non-PPR leagues. He's going to have more upside because I think vast majority of people watching this video and people that play fantasy know that AP is the one to pick up. Some people may be in question, is it AP or is it McNichols? Well, if we look at Jeremy McNichols, he's averaged only 1 carry per game this entire year. So he has been used, but not as a runner. And, we're getting essentially a poor man's Derrick Henry in Adrian Peterson. This is a great fit for him. He hasn't really looked that bad for being 36 years old, AP. That is, so although I'm not pushing the hype train to the maximum velocity with Adrian Peterson, I'm still saying he is the best running back to add and actually does have some upside. So go ahead and add Adrian Peterson. Jeremy McNichols, a little bit more value in PPR leagues. Just not going crazy over this tight end situation is all. Boston Scott, really good running back as long as Miles Sanders is out. David Johnson is the, Mark Ingram's got, so David Johnson by default's on this list. James Robinson might miss maybe like a week or something like that, so Carlos Hyde is the starting running back just by default. We know ETN's done, and James Robinson is hurt. Mark Ingram is pretty much a must-add. He's becoming a really, really valuable handcuff. Basically a must handcuff to Kamara. And even if you don't have Kamara, I like getting handcuffs from other players. I think Mark Ingram in a 14-team league is a must-add. In a 12-team league, you probably want to target him. If anything were to happen to Kamara, who's getting an insane amount of usage this season, Mark Ingram would see a huge uptick in usage, and then boom, now you got yourself an RB2, a starting running back on a good team. That's, pretty hard to do. They don't come by that often. And then in deeper leagues, we got Kenyon Drake, Phillip Lindsay, Jordan Howard, Latavius Murray, who, I don't know, maybe we can rank higher, but yeah, we can rank him several spots higher. Maybe up to 7 or something, but just no guarantee that he's actually going to play this week. And the Titans also did sign Dante Foreman. He's on the practice squad currently for Tennessee. And then kind of a dynasty ad here is Jared Patterson. I added him in dynasty on a rebuilding team a few weeks ago. I was a huge Gibson believer. He has let me down. I think a big portion of it is the injuries, but really no excuses. Gibson has been a bust. And we saw Jared Patterson get a lot of carries. He got outsnapped, matter of fact, Antonio Gibson. So that's, that's why I ranked up number 12. But in Dynasty, definitely worth an ad as a rookie, especially if you can put him in your taxi squad like I did. For wide receivers, oh my God, who is number 1 right here? Brandon Ayuk, are you kidding me? So he hasn't looked good, but every game he's looking better and better. He's getting more on Kyle Shanahan's better side, better graces of the Niners. He did drop a clutch ball, so that was a huge drop, but he did also catch a clutch ball and convert that 2-point conversion. So Brandon Ayuk, I know just 2 weeks ago I told I was like, hey, if you're in a 10-team league, drop him. But now I'm saying, hey, if you're in a 12-team league, go ahead and add him. You may not need to spend a waiver claim or any FAB, but I'm saying like this type of ad really might be worth it. And the Niners they just keep getting hurt. So Debo keeps dealing with weekly injuries. I mean, he's looking great, but a calf, that's pretty serious. It could be serious, or it's something. It's not nothing, is what I'm thinking. Kittle's been hurt all the time. Eli Mitchell's been hurt. All the running backs basically have been hurt. So who knows? And there's really no other receivers, right? They don't throw to the running back a ton. And Sanu gets some usage, not really a lot though. So there's just a lot of opportunity for Ayuk, and one of the rare times this year we saw the Niners offense actually look decent, move the ball. It was a high-scoring game against the Bears. So kind of like kind of like Adrian Peterson, I'm not too excited about this, but I'm saying there is a lot of potential here, and you're not starting him anyway, so to me, it seems like a no-brainer. Stash this guy. He's going to be your 6th wide receiver on your team. And who knows, if he keeps improving or something were to happen, then you'd be like, okay, I got myself a wide receiver too. That's pretty amazing. And then after that, it's really all wishy-washy. Van Jefferson, I got number 2. We know Tutu Atwell is injured. Deshaun Jackson was a scratch last week. He demanded a trade. So, not too sure what's going on there with those guys, but definitely Van Jefferson is the number 3 receiver on this team. I'd say ahead of Higbee as well, and that's something when you're talking about Matt Stafford, who probably not quite MVP caliber, but in that discussion, right? Matthew Stafford, top 5 MVP, maybe even top 3 MVP. So I guess he is in that MVP discussion. We're talking about really good offense, really good coach, really good quarterback. And to be that number 3 option where everyone's freaking out trying to cover Cooper Kupp, Van Jefferson, man, he's definitely worth looking at if you need wide receiver depth. Jamal Agnew, I don't have a lot of confidence in this. They could rotate. It could be LaVishka one week. It could be Dan Arnold one week. Could be Marvin Jones one week. But, that's never happened recently. As soon as I started starting Marvin Jones, he sucked. You know how it goes. But Jamal Agnew, look at this. So he's got 7 targets a few weeks ago, then 6, and most recently 12 targets. That's something to note. 12 targets and putting up startable fantasy points in a horrible game they just played against the Seahawks is definitely something to know. I mean, this guy's exciting. He's kind of a underdog or fan favorite, and man, I don't know. I just don't have that confidence in him. But in deep leagues, you might want to look at him. Anyway, MVS might be coming back. Nico Collins is starting to actually be involved in the offense. Would be crazy to see what happens if Tyrod Taylor starts and not Davis Mills, who's been pretty bad. Mecole Hardman seems to be the number 2 wide receiver, solidified in that spot for the Chiefs. Like really, really solidified is what I'm trying to say. You already know that, but I'm saying like times 2. I think he's definitely that number 2 wide receiver. And Kelsey hasn't really looked good. It was just a pass game. Devontae Parker, Russell Gage, who's done nothing this past week when he thought you'd do something because Calvin Ridley's out, but it is what it is. Elijah Moore, rookie wide receiver on the Jets. And Tajay Sharp, I guess he's the wide receiver one for the Falcons. I don't know. Don't ask me. What do I know anyway? Moving on to tight ends. Are you kidding me? Pat Freiermuth only owned in 20% of leagues. Go get him. He is a star rookie tight end. Like, this guy is a star. Overshadowed by Kyle Pitts because Kyle Pitts is so sexy, so freakish, and rightfully so. But if he wasn't there, we'd be talking about Pat Freiermuth as just amazing, amazing tight end. We'd be talking about him like we were talking about T.J. Hawkinson recently. Probably better than Mike Gesicki. You know, give him some time, of course. Remember, he is a rookie tight end. And the landscape is changing. Remember when rookie wide receivers used to do nothing? And always rookie tight ends did nothing. And I think that narrative is completely changed. It wasn't an opinion. I mean, it was a fact. You know, breakout year, right? Year 3, last one wide receivers breakout. Year 1, tight ends do nothing, right? I think that's changed. Evan Ingram, like, I think it's gonna change a lot. We'll see. The game is changing. The positions are changing. And Freiermuth looks great. He looks better than Eric Ebron, like, from day one, like, since training camp. All right, and then we have another rookie tight end, Brevin Jordan. You know how I like to do it. I often miss when I do this, but I always look for that next big star, that next big thing. So with Brevin Jordan's upside, I'm putting him at number 2. I know it's stupid. I know it's risky. But that's how I do it. And you can get Brevin Jordan for free. Just remember that. That's another plus. You don't have to put in any FAB dollars. You don't have to put in a waiver claim. You can get him as a free agent. He's not going to, you're not going to start him, so he's a nice stash. But anything can happen. I mean, well, hey, Pat Freiermuth, that was a hit. So you do this, and then, all of a sudden you have a tight end 1, right? Like, a lot of things happen, and then boom, I got a top 6 tight end, top 7 tight end, maybe even a top 5 tight end. That's why I go for it. And number 3, I got Dan Arnold, who's much safer, who's doing great, compared to, if you consider a situation on the Jaguars. 8 targets a few weeks ago, then 5, and most recently 10. So this is the safe option. We know he's going to get targets. That's what I look for in a tight end, is 5 or more targets. With the wide receiver, I'm looking at 7 or more targets per game. Like, is this guy going to get 7 targets or more? As a tight end, I'm saying 5, right? 4 is like, that's, he's on my bench. 5 is pretty good. So Dan Arnold is definitely worth an ad, definitely startable if you need a tight end. And then we got Evan Ingram, Tyler Conklin, Jonnu Smith, Gerald Everett. He's my sleeper ad, and really because of 3 things. New team for Gerald Everett. Hasn't really got acclimated yet, right? Him and Russell Wilson have played what? 2 games, 3 games, 4 games, something like that. Like, because I think Gerald Everett missed 1 game. So let's just say he played 3 games. So I don't know off the top of my head, but these guys haven't played that much. So number 1 thing, Russell Wilson's coming back. He's probably going to come back after the bye week. If not, take another week. So Russell Wilson's coming back. Huge upgrade at quarterback. Number 2, Will Dissly. No usage in the pass game the past 3 games. That's huge. So who's the pass catching tight end? Gerald Everett. Gerald Everett, alpha tight end as far as fantasy goes on that team. Russell Wilson coming back. A little bit more chemistry. Boom. Right there. Could be some high-scoring games, too, against the Packers. And Kyler Murray should be back against the Cardinals game. So some high-scoring shootouts possibly. Russell Wilson back possibly. Gerald Everett, I love this sneak. Yeah, now keep in mind, you don't want to spend any FAB for Everett. Also, he is on bye, so you might need the roster space. I get that. That's why I have him ranked number 7. I just want to say that is my super sleeper tight end ad if you really want to stash. A lot more safer than Brevin Jordan because who knows what the Texans are doing. I digress. Mo Alley Cox at number 8. Number 9, Cole Kmet. Number 10, Uzama. Number 11, Foster Moreau, just in case Darren Waller is still hurt from that ankle injury. Number 12, Tommy Sweeney. Don't really recommend you adding these guys, but, I have an exhaustive list. What can I do? Dawson Knox is day-to-day with a broken hand injury, and Hayden Hurst at number 13. For defenses, you want to try to get one of these top 6. That would be ideal. I think you can do it. I mean, good luck. Hopefully you can. So number 1, we got the Steelers going against the Bears. They should absolutely crush it. Colts D going against the Jets. That's really close to number 1 as well. Going to be amazing. Patriots D going against the Panthers. Now, Patriots D, you love it if Christian McCaffrey's not playing. I don't think he's going to play. There's a chance C-Mac comes back week 9, week 10, week 11. We don't know. But definitely could come back this week. So keep tabs on Christian McCaffrey. If he's out, also Sam Darnold could be out. So no C-Mac, no Sam Darnold. Patriots D would be amazing. Now, I might like them even more than the Colts. Like they could be number 1. And number 4, we got the Cowboys D, who's very solid. They didn't put up a lot of fantasy points last week. That's just because they didn't get any huge plays, but they played tremendous. They won the game. The defense helped them out a lot, and they've been playing good all year. And, that's their floor, right? Low-scoring game, somewhat boring as far as, high-scoring games go. And, they got a lot of big play opportunities with Diggs at corner. So they face the Broncos. That team doesn't score a lot of points. Then they face the Falcons. And the Falcons, they don't have Julio Jones. They don't have much of running game. They may not have Calvin Ridley. So I love the Cowboys D as a streaming option, as a long-term option. And then we got the Dolphins D. Great streaming option against the Texans, especially if Tyrod Taylor is out. More so like I would be scared to start them if Tyrod Taylor plays, but they still would be ranked like 6 or 7. So keep tabs on Tyrod Taylor. I like the Dolphins D as a streaming option. Saints D going against the Falcons and the Titans and the Eagles. And a little bit deeper leagues, we got the Raiders at number 7 going against the Giants. Bengals number 8 going against the Browns. Cardinals D number 9 going against San Francisco. Number 10, same game. Niners D going against the Cardinals. Now you want to keep tabs on Eli Mitchell. He's hurt. Deebo Samuel's hurt. Kyler Murray's the big one, though. Is Kyler Murray going to play? If not, Niners D could be very feasible. DeAndre Hopkins also hurt. So if no Kyler, no Hopkins, wow. Niners D could be a great streaming option. So keep tabs on that. I would put them as high as like 7, 6, or 5, like really high if you have no Kyler and no Hopkins. Number 11, we got the Bears D going against the Steelers. Keep tabs on Khalil Mack's health. I assume Akeem Hicks will play. Panthers D at number 12. Ravens D, Chargers D, Browns D, Falcons D, and Texans D. For kicker, I do have a lot of kickers on here. I know that are probably rostered, but I know a lot of, like, Justin Tucker may have got dropped. He was on a bye week. Tyler Bass, leagues that kind of gave up, he's still, only rostered in 80% of leagues, and he's like the best kicker. So lots of options here. You want to get a top, I don't know. All these guys are pretty good. Yeah, all these guys are pretty good. I think just get the one that's ranked the highest. I think all 11 of these guys are really good. I'd really try to get a top 10 kicker, one of these top 10s. So number 1, Justin Tucker. Number 2, Bass. Number 3, Gay. Number 4, Greg Zuerlein. 5, Harrison Butker. 6, Daniel Carlson. 7, Graham Gano. 8, Michael Badgley. 9, Brian Johnson. He's been okay for the Saints. Now, keep in mind that Will Lutz might come back, and if he does, I love him. First game back, though, kind of rusty. So kind of put an asterisk at number 9, okay, like that. There we go. because I don't know which one's going to start. I like Will Lutz quite a bit. No Jameis Winston. I don't know if Taysom Hill's going to play. I mean, just so many things in flux here that you may want to avoid this situation and just go with Jason Sanders maybe. And, number 10, Jason Sanders. Dolphins kicker. Number 11, Mason Crosby. Number 12, Evan McPherson. 13, Younghoe Koo. 14, Joey Sly. 15, Matt Prater. 16, Nick Folk. 17, Greg Joseph. Well, there you go, guys. We're all done with the waivers. We made it through. Drop a comment below. I read all the comments. I try to respond to every single one. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. Subscribe to the second YouTube channel. We have a second YouTube channel. Please help support and subscribe to that as well. That one is called Fantasy Couch Podcast. So subscribe to both our YouTube channels. Smash that thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thumbs down if you did not. And let's go get that W for week 9. Let's do it.